welcome to episode 25 of the Falls on a Hill podcast, where we bring you the latest news and our expert opinion on the newest releases in the world of music. I am your host, Cal, and I am joined by Yanni and Liam. How are we, fellas?
Hello, Callum.
Hello, Mr. Davis. Hello.
Fantastic, my friend. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. Did you get all the Guinness that was dripping that you were licking on
Yeah, I've
screen?
just got a bit saved around on my muzzy for later.
Licking the glass.
On your muzzy?
There's a bit in the
Wow.
glass left as well. Yeah.
Brilliant.
What are you sipping, Callum?
I've got a nice cup of Yorkshire tea.
No, only the best.
Only the best for all.
Only the
Cal.
best.
Okay, I'll-
Only the best.
Those lads,
Only
those
the
lads.
Oh,
Yes.
well,
What's
this
happening?
is a podcast that we record,
Yeah,
isn't it?
I think that's what we're doing.
For some reason, this is in the intro.
Because that's where it belongs.
Shrek soundtrack.
Shrek, yeah.
Liam,
You
why don't
mean
you tell
spoil
us?
part of
Why
it,
don't you tell
yeah.
everyone why this has been put in?
Because this week we passed the 20th anniversary. 20th?
Yeah, why
I'm going
not?
to say 20th. 20th anniversary of the first Shrek film. Classic. It's an absolute classic.
Class
One
that.
of the best animated films of all time. The Guardian put out a really hateful piece of journalism.
Yeah, I
if
saw
you
that.
want to call it
Yeah. It's
journalism.
the only way to get clicks nowadays, isn't it?
Disgraceful.
Oh.
But I wanted to, considering we're all, of course, fans of Shrek, who isn't,
Of course.
and also fans of music, now and again, I thought we could talk about the soundtrack for Shrek because it's known for being quite fantastic. Just cover the highlights. So,
Let's.
do you want to start, Carl?
I do. I would like to highlight a comedian, an actor, a creator of bops in Eddie Murphy.
Yes.
In it.
That was
Sorry,
Alexa.
Alexa. She doesn't know that one.
She didn't want Eddie Murphy.
Well, I can't edit that out, so
It's her.
shut up.
Turn her off.
Well,
Carl.
no, she'll pipe down in it. She'll go back into the corner. Yeah. So Eddie Murphy, I'm a believer, banger.
Reprise in brackets. I've just discovered.
Yeah, it's only a minute and 12 or whatever, is it?
minute,
is that-
13.
Oh,
to
so
Wikipedia.
close. Oh, a minute 12 on Spotify. So
Well, I think it's
Oh.
because it's the reprise because earlier on in the soundtrack is the original by Smash Mouth. Well, no, sorry, not the original.
yeah.
No, that's definitely not the
Cover.
original.
Who's it by? Is it by the Monkeys?
Yeah. Hey.
There's the version by Smash Mouth, which is the one played, and then at some point in the film, Donkey sings it, which is why it's a reprise.
Donkey.
Yeah. Donkey.
Donkey. Yanni?
I'm on my way. I'm
By
on
the-
my way.
By the Reclaimers. Yeah. Yeah, that was really good. From misery to happiness study.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's a good one.
It is. There's an awful lot of Smash Mouth in this, isn't there?
Of course.
Two, and that's enough.
There's 2 songs by Smash Mouth. Yeah. All Star. of course.
Isn't this being released for Record Store Day?
It is, yeah.
It is, funny enough.
It
yes.
is. A green, on green vinyl, I believe.
Why green?
Oh, it should have been a picture disc.
Not sure.
Yeah, with the
Yeah, the little
The little-
antenna.
Yeah, that would be good.
antenna.
That would be really good. And you've got, of course, All Star by Smash Mouth, which is a fantastic song.
Of course.
And Hallelujah,
Overplayed.
cover by Rufus Wainwright.
Hallelujah.
It's pretty good.
It's a very pivotal moment in the film.
Yeah, it's a great cover as well.
And Bad Reputation when he's beating up all the knights. And
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's good. It's very good. So that's the
That's Shrek.
Shrek soundtrack. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5.
I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna have to go for a 5 out of 5 on the Shrek.
Oh, yeah.
On the Shrek, yeah.
Okay, no.
Yeah, I mirror Yanni's thoughts for the 4.
Oh, this is going to be a
Oh,
recurring
God.
theme.
So, what's it mean, Yanni?
think. Sorry?
Nothing. Sorry.
Sorry?
Sorry, I was too early. Now.
In case
be
you've
good.
never seen Shrek before, quick synopsis. Shrek, an ogre, embarks on a journey with a donkey to rescue Princess Fiona from a vile lord and regain his swamp.
It's unbelievable. I've just noticed there's extra songs in the film, but not the soundtrack. You got On the Road Again, Eddie Murphy, and he's singing
Oh,
On the Road
yeah.
Again. And also Escape the Pina Colada song, which I think is when Lord Farquaad's picking like a princess on the mirror, and Fiona comes
Oh,
on.
yeah, it is.
You
God.
like pina coladas?
That's been Shrek.
Shrek, by Shrek.
So, in case you want to know, I must first ask, what's the story?
Callum, tell us about the first one.
First one we have. Well, it's not an album announcement, but it is an announcement that the album is being brought forward a week, and that is Inhaler's "We Have to Move On." I think it's called.
No,
is it
you
won't
can
always
finish
be
what
like
you're
this?
saying, mate, if you want.
Is it? Is it? It won't always be like this. I don't know what
It's
the name of the
called It
album
Won't
is.
Always Be Like This. Where have you got? We have to
That's
move
the
on
song.
from.
That is another old song, and the name derives from an old song. So
Oh, sorry.
should have written it down, shouldn't we? But yeah, it's coming out on July 9th now. I've got this on pre-order. Dost times.
Dost time.
Dost
Mate,
time,
that is
yeah.
some solid
Um,
Spanish you've got
That
there.
is proper Spanish.
Thank you. Didn't get taught it in school, so I've learned that myself.
I didn't get
Home
learnt it.
research.
I'm not learned.
What did you get learnt, Cal?
Not much.
No.
Shows. Anything else? Are you excited? Are you glad to come a week early?
Me?
Does it matter?
I mean, yeah. Whether or not it clashes with anything else, we'll have to listen to. I don't know, but I mean,
The Clash
I'm
Back?
game for mum.
Wow.
Oh my
music
God.
sooner.
Um,
It's going to be one of them episodes, isn't it?
it is indeed. It is indeed. Yanni, I would use these two words to describe you often. Low hummer.
Okay.
I'm not gonna digress any further onto that. But they have an album coming out.
Yeah.
Modern Tricks for Living.
Are we going to
I'm
get
sure
a date
will.
right this time?
Yeah. It's.
I'd like to
February
formally
32nd.
apologise.
No, they are releasing it on September 17th. Callum, what happened? What was the June date about? I don't even.
You
I was
completely
confused by
made
all
the
this.
June date.
Yeah, well,
And it wasn't even a fucking
they
Tuesday.
they either got it wrong, or I've dreamt about them, which would be very strange.
It was.
Did you
or I
mention
just
it on the
got
last
date
pod?
wrong. I don't know if it was the last one or the one
It was the
before,
last
but
one. Last one, yeah.
Because I was confused
Whatever
why
it
you were
was,
correcting
whatever it
yourself,
was,
'cause I don't remember.
I
you
got it
saying
wrong. Yeah,
And you
whatever it
made
is,
me
I got
look
it
like
wrong.
tit.
I did, but this is another album I've got on pre-order. Nice Dinked edition, limited to 500.
Dick.
Nice,
Excited.
nice bit of dink.
I also said before that there's only 4 songs on the album that they haven't released so far. It turns out there's 3 songs they haven't released so far.
Wow.
very
I missed a release.
Even more of a liar. What a
That's really
piece of shit, Cal.
Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous, isn't it?
It's almost like a greatest hits at this point, isn't it? Or how it feels. 'Cause you already know all the songs.
Yeah, but like you said, I like all the songs, so we'll have to
Hey,
get 'em
he's
on
happy.
wax.
Cal's happy, and if he's happy, I'm happy.
We're
Hey,
all
That's all that matters, isn't it?
We're all happy. I've got all happy.
you know what else? No, I can't make this thing. Sorry, I tried, but it's not going to work.
You're on
Ponds.
cloud 9.
Oh,
Oh, Yanni. Come on, man.
rewind.
You're on cloud 9.
You okay?
That'll sound so good. It sounds.
Is there an
like,
echo in
it
here?
sounds like Callum's clipped that and put it twice because that was exactly the
It
same.
was. It did
If you
seem.
listen to that, it's exactly the same. Compare those waveforms, Cal.
Compare the
I'm telling you.
waveform.
Okay, mate.
Brother.
Okay.
Pond announced album 9, number 9,
Number 9.
to be released October 1st, which is a Tuesday. No, I don't know if it's a Tuesday. There's also another song that they've released as of this week, which we will be mentioning. I'm going to bring it up right now so that I can say the word alluded to when we get to it. But I've already done it.
Yeah,
So
you have that.
I've alluded to an allusion.
Preluded.
Preludes. Speaking
Quaaludes.
of preludes, we mentioned last week
And Quaaludes.
about preludes, about gigs, and there's a bit of news this week.
Sorry? News?
News! News!
God, what is happening in the
Big
world?
events without masks are no riskier than shopping. COVID trial show. This is brought to you by
Wow.
The Times, the one and only Time.
No. No, there are multiple times, but they're all. These are the times.
These are the Times.
The times.
Would
that
you
you're
say
gonna have.
it's the sign of the Times?
No, I wouldn't. I would
No.
not say as such.
Holding
I love
mass
this, Cal.
events
I love
without
that you've.
masks.
I love that you've sent this link in, Cal. It's locked behind the paywall, so that's.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've just noticed that
thanks for
myself.
that.
Oh, brilliant!
It's really
So we were going to discuss that, but I mean the title's in the
The
title,
title's
gives it
in the
away.
title.
Title's in the title. You know, just go
Are
to
they-
a gig, enjoy yourself. Get off with everyone. It doesn't matter. There's not a
Are
virus.
they
It doesn't
no
exist.
riskier than
It's all
shopping?
made
though?
up. It's never happened.
Yeah, well, I remember when we spoke about the Blossom Sefton Park.
The
gig,
V-Blossoms.
You mentioned, you mentioned about people having to, test negative afterwards, and I've seen 3 people on my Twitter timeline test negative afterwards. So that's positive. Well, it's not positive, but it's a good step.
I'm
It is
sure we
negative.
made that joke last week.
But
We have, but it's really hard to say.
for me, that seems though. I'm not.
Oh, here comes Debbie Downer.
No, I'm thinking
I
if the
know,
event was,
fucking
if
hell.
it was
Liam
completely,
loser.
if it was completely like everyone was negative afterwards and the result was positive of the event, that's great. That's fantastic. But to say it's no risk than shopping, I think shopping should be absolutely no risk at this point. If you can do an event that's no risk, so it kind of seems like a pointless comment. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I think that
That's
they're trying
more
to say that
damning
we
on
do
shopping.
we do shopping every day, and people are just accustomed to it. That's what I think they're trying to say.
Well-
I know what you're trying to say as well, but
Listen,
I don't know what Liam's trying
if
to
they're
say.
going to throw these
other than
comments out
be
here,
miserable.
they need to be ready for people like me to kick off in the comments. As soon as I subscribe, I'm going to my
Liam,
card out now.
Liam,
I'm going to kick
I
off.
don't want
Oh,
this to get too heated.
Oh,
do you want to just draft your
Oh.
letter to Ofcom now?
Oh, fucking hell, Cal.
Karen.
What a loss! What a loss of
What
a
a loss.
segue that
I
was.
know.
Callum, I don't shop every day, so you're wrong. Part of the press. Here we go.
He really doesn't. I live with him. He doesn't shop every day.
I don't shop. I don't live.
Hot off the press. Daddy's home. Ding,
Ding
dong.
dong.
Somebody get their
We've actually the segue here.
Cal to review it, please. St.
Cal,
Vincent, Daddy's home.
Callum.
Take it away.
Yeah. So, as Yanni alluded to, we've already done it. I listened to Daddy's Home by St. Vincent. Don't really think Liam and Yanni were too excited for this album,
No.
but I was. So I'll just go right down to it, shall I?
Go
Crack on,
right
lads,
down
crack on.
to it.
The first track, Pay Wayne Payne, I think is probably the best song on the album, which is a good way to, open an album. But then when the rest of the album kind of falters a bit, yeah. Down and Out Downtown, I really like the sitar in it. I think it was a sitar. It might have
That's a
just been an
strong
effect,
lisp you've got there, mate.
but yeah, the riff being played on that was particularly pleasant. The title track, Daddy's Home, was a nice tune. I think it could have been placed a bit further down in the track list, which is a gripe I have with quite a lot of the album. I don't think the set list was placed together particularly well. It wasn't really cohesive. But the backing vocals on that were top tier. Living the Dream, I really liked it. I liked the build up. Again, I think it suffered from being directly after an already slow tune. Like it kind of, my attention span was kind of wading a bit the first time I heard it because it was all kind of just amalgamating into one. Melting of the Sun, I've spoke about that previously. It's another great tune, and I think the lyricism is very clever. Highlights women in the industry, and St. Vincent herself described it as a love letter to strong, brilliant female artists.
Very good.
But I think the master seemed extremely quiet.
Oh.
Take from
Now
that
he's getting
what you
technical.
will.
I'll take
I
from
am.
that
It's
that
only
the master
taken
is very quiet. That's what I'll take.
It's only taken 25 episodes, but I've actually spoke about something technical. The Laughing Man, I think is the next one. I like the caller response at the start, which mirrors a 911 call,
Callum
which
gonna
is the
die?
opening line of the song.
I think so.
I've just got a bit of a...
That's a
I
rip-off.
needed to belch, really, but...
Oh,
yeah.
mate.
At this point in the album, I really wish there was some more fast-paced, easy for me to say, songs to break the large amount of slow ones that all seem to be in a clump. Down, I didn't like this one on first listen, as I said last week, but it's really grown on me, and I think St. Vincent's vocals are fantastic. Somebody Like Me is probably my favourite, well, definitely my favourite track out of the ones that weren't singles. I like the faster paced drums, and the vocal melody instantly stuck out to me. Also, funny, a lyric was, "Does it make you a genius or the fool of the week to believe enough in somebody like me?" I
Whee.
thought that was apt for our podcast.
Very.
And then My Baby Wants a Baby. I was listening to this on the train as I was going to get my COVID jab yesterday, and the
Congrats.
ticket guy on the thank you. The ticket guy on the tannoy said, "You are now arriving into Rill, and it fit perfectly with the song, and I was very confused. It was like perfect.
That'd be cool.
But yeah, again, it was a good tune. Again, I think the placement of it kind of faltered, and I think it could have been the end of the album because the last two they were nice songs, but they didn't really add to the ending or anything. It kind of just, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of like
Didn't butter your biscuit.
faded out. Yeah, you could say that. It kind of just faded out rather than with a crescendo, which I think this style of music kind of would have benefited from. In terms of the humming interludes, they sounded good on vinyl, but they brought nothing to the streaming version whatsoever. But overall, I really like it. I do think it's cohesive, but I just think the placement of the tracks kind of ruin my immersion. Kind of. But I like it. I like the voice. I like the vibe. I like it all. I'm going to give it 4 out of 5.
Oh, a 4 out of 5.
Bloody hell. That's
Lovely.
good. I'm glad you're happy, Cal.
That's fantastic.
It really
news,
means a lot to
mate.
me.
No, it's really buttered my biscuit.
Oh, good. Neither of you listened to it? No?
No.
Okay, move on.
I did.
Oh, did you?
I
What did
actually
you
listened to it
think?
in full. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would from the singles, for sure. I think together it kind of makes more sense. I agree with the track list. Seems like some songs just don't really roll into each other very well. And I think I don't really remember the second half of the album as well. Maybe I just wasn't paying as much attention. But yeah, I liked the first, Down to the Mountain of the Sun. I quite enjoyed it. Some really kind of interesting ideas, but still kind of classic sounding almost. And yeah, the voice sounds really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's impressed me more than I thought it would, I guess.
Good.
That's cool.
Wow, Liam.
Thank you, Yanni.
Why don't you tell everyone what you've had the pleasure? And by pleasure,
Oh, God.
I really mean it.
You really do.
Because what is it?
Cream.
Yeah, baby.
Okay, Yanni, thank you, Yanni, for that wonderful words. My name's Liam. Hello, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the
Hi,
club. I had the pleasure of listening to the Black Keys' 10th studio album, Delta Cream. Although it's interesting that it's, I think I'm going to take away the word studio because it doesn't say it on Wikipedia. Because I was going to say it's not a studio album. So I'm going to start again. I listened to the 10th album from the Black Keys, Delta Cream. It's a cover of, according to Wikipedia, hill country blues songs. It's mostly covers of Junior Kimbrough songs. There's a couple from R.L. Burnside as well, and I think there's a couple others. It's all blues, it's all classic blues style music. Black Keys, I guess, if you go back to their roots, this is where they're from, and I guess that's the idea behind this. It was recorded apparently in about 10 hours over 2 afternoons. So it's all recorded live, straight to tape kind of thing for the whole band. Had contributions from R.L. Burnside guitarist Kenny Brown, as well as Junior Kimbrough's bassist Eric Deaton. They were both involved in this, which I think is quite cool.
Super cool,
It's super cool, yeah.
Rat.
And it's just a bunch of classic blues songs. It's I don't have an awful lot to say about this. I'm gonna comment on.
You got me fooled.
I'm gonna say my favourite song probably is "Stay All Night." I just really like that. It's got a great groove.
Sorry, stay all night or stay all night?
Stay All Night.
Okay.
Might have been "Stay All Night." I don't know. What's going on.
If you're
It's blues, so it's most of the songs kind of do the same thing throughout with the kind of guitar and bass and drums on all the instruments. So I just said instruments, with some stonking guitar solos.
Stonking?
Really great tones. There's some brilliant tones, and like I said before, it's all recorded live. So you hear bits before songs where they're counting in, or where they're just kind of you can just hear the hum of the amps,
the room.
And there's a few where at the end, he's like, "Oh, that sounded great." You know what I mean? Things like that. Or there's one where I'm sure he says, and we just fade out on that because they've just been kind of playing a few bars of the same thing, and he goes, "Oh, we'll just fade out on that," because they just kind of stop abruptly. Obviously, they didn't then make that a fade; they just kind of kept that in, which was kind of cool. And there's
Lazy.
You could say lazy, but it just kind of feels it works.
Yanni looks. Sorry, on my camera, Yanni is so bemused looking at you. You look like he'd frozen.
Like a little puppy dog staring into my eyes. Yeah. Just with the blues style, it just kind of makes sense. It just feels like you sat in a room with a bunch of blues musicians doing the blues.
Oh, baby, it's the blue.
There's another one where he's like finishes and it's like, yeah, that sounds good.
And he just lets off a massive fart.
massive wet fart.
You're like, what?
Yeah, no,
Dad,
that's
come
it.
on, man. We're recording to tape live here. 2 days, 10 hours.
But he
It's a
said,
live album.
sure, he says something like, "Oh, you carry on. I'm just going to work something out," and it's just kind of cool to kind of feel like you're in the space. Like, so you Stay All Night's a favorite song. The rest of them, there's some great guitar work, some great solos. There's only so much of the wow kind of little riff.
Sorry.
that is done in almost every song.
You'd have to do it. I didn't catch it.
Wow.
No, that didn't
Same.
sound the same. Yeah, that.
It's used differently, but that is used a lot in all these songs, and that's like it's fine, and they're all really well done, and they're all different from each other. But at some point, 12-bar blues is what it is, isn't it?
It is. What
It's on the 11th bar, it gets a bit too much.
Yeah, exactly.
Bit too many wow.
But as I say, it sounds fantastic. It's really good to hear like a bass player and another guitarist, obviously with the Black Keys, and like I don't know if I've really ever paid attention before. I'm sure they do have bass and another guitar, but it's surely always Dan Auerbach playing those. To kind of just hear them playing off each other, and so it doesn't sound like the same guitarist doing all the parts. Does that make sense? It does feel like more of a band. You don't really get with the Black Keys as much. And his voice sounds really good. It works really well with a lot of these songs. So yeah, I think it's really good. It's really good just to kind of throw on in the background. It'd be good for a barbecue.
Oh, he's done it.
Oh, one of them.
He said it.
Oh.
It would be a great Barbie album. It would, to be fair, just have it on the background. But yeah, I really like it. The more I've listened to it quite a lot, and because it's just really easy to listen to, just put a random song on. It's just again, it is what it is. It's blues. There's not much to it. It's just nice to listen to.
Would you say it is what it is?
It is what it is. But yeah, it sounds really good.
It
Quality,
is
considering it's all recorded live over 10 hours. Do you know what I mean? Like
In
it's
2
nothing.
days as
two
well?
afternoons.
Oh,
Not even
fucking hell,
days,
it's incredible, really.
afternoons. And apparently they had never... It was just after they finished their tour for... What was the last album called?
Ten Blue.
Let It Rock.
Oh,
Yeah,
I've completely
Um,
dismissed that album
yeah,
entirely.
completely. After they'd finished touring for Let It Rock, and then they went straight into the studio, and they had, it says here, with little planning and no advance rehearsals. Which, I mean, as I say, the two instrumentalists that joined them are from the original bands that made these songs, I guess. But, works really well. It's really good. Yeah, go and listen to it. If you like Black Keys, I don't know if you'd enjoy this. I'm sure you would. Because it's not like the Black Keys. But interestingly, there's one song on here that's, which one was it again? Do the Romp, which they also did on their first album, The Big Come Up. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And so I thought, I'll compare the two. God, that album sounds bad.
Yeah.
That album sounds like absolute trash. Sounds so shit. Yeah, so needless to say, this was a better version. But yeah, I'm going to give it a 4 or 5.
Damn!
Because I can't really pick anything bad from it. So it can't be less than a 4. It just isn't.
A 5.
It's not theirs. They're not their songs, I guess. It's not theirs. But yeah, that's me. I'm done.
That's
Glad I
Liam.
managed to wangle my way through that one.
Callum, did you listen to this?
I did, yeah. It was on in the background, and as Liam has said, there were far too many.
12 bars.
There were
Wow,
far
wow,
too
wow.
many.
I thought you were going to do
Thank
it. Why are
you.
you waiting for me to do it?
Well,
I'll take your rendition of it.
it's clearly your specialty.
Wow.
So it kind of all amalgamated into one for me. Seemed very long, but I didn't. As Liam said, nice background music, nice barbecue music.
Definitely.
I wasn't having a barbecue. The weather's shit, but it was nice in the background as I was playing Football Manager.
Good. Johnny, do you listen to any of this?
Of course not.
Oh, of course. I know,
Absolutely
because I
not.
sit next to you every single day and I
Yeah.
haven't listened to it.
I know.
Idiots.
But I'm going to.
You should. You really should.
Yeah.
It's one of them where I think you might be bored, but it's still really good.
Yeah, I think you'll be bored.
Well, you never
Put it
know.
on
I
in a
do
drive
often
or-
surprise you two.
In the background.
You do.
It's all very good musicianships. Yanni, hello.
Yanni, but Yanni, but
Yanni, we want to know what you've been what you have actually listened to this week.
Juan Cole,
Juan Cole.
as it says in our Notion notes. No, it's Jermaine Cole.
Can I just
Jermaine
explain Juan Cole?
Jermaine Juan Cole.
I just typed in
JJ Cole.
I just typed in J Cole and it auto corrected J to Juan. I don't of all the names it would go for. Not John. We go for John. Juan Cole. Come on, Yanni, tell us about Juan Cole.
I
King
will,
Jermaine.
if you let me.
Go on.
The album is The Off Season. It's been a while since we've had an album from J. Cole, I believe.
3 years.
Yeah, it's not that long then. That's because I didn't really listen to the last one.
No.
Yes. So I can't say I was eagerly anticipating this, if I'm honest. Because I didn't like the last one. The last couple of singles he's released have not been my cup of coffee.
This was quite a surprise drop as well, wasn't it?
Yeah,
You
I
only
mean, it
get-
came from the moon like Taylor, just out of nowhere. I say that the only song I have that he's released recently is Middle Child in 2019. That is a good song. But everything else I've not really enjoyed. So, me and Liam have been discussing this. This is quite different compared to your usual Cole. Very much old school kind of vibes throughout, I'd say. In the sense that like it's not really, well, for J. Cole, it's not. It normally tells like stories throughout, and they'll have like hooks going on and stuff like that. And there's a lot of like interesting instrumentation. However, in this, it's mainly like sample a beat, and he just like spits, to use the correct terminology. Someone should tell him there's a bloody pandemic. But yes, there were a couple ones that I'll get to that sounded a little bit like old school J. Cole. But nothing, I wouldn't say there's anything that was on that level as like his older stuff that I'd say it was at the same point at level 2, whatever I'm trying to say.
Can you specify older stuff, Yanni? Because he did have a lot of older stuff before the older stuff we were
Well,
talking about.
okay, 2014, Forest Hills, and For Your Eyes, Only,
Yep.
by Juan Cole. Right, so 95 South, the intro comes in very hard. Again, this is where you get that old school kind of, I say old school, but it's more noughties, early noughties kind of rap, I think, where I think there's like an announcer in this, isn't there, or someone, and they start shouting. Yeah, it's all right. A lot of these songs are just all right for me, to be honest. Amari, is that how you pronounce it?
I'd say Amari, yeah.
Yeah, Liam would say Amari.
I'd say that.
Solid instrumental, produced by Timbaland, so you'd expect that. We did learn today that J. Cole was watching like a Timbaland live stream or a snippet of it, and Timbaland was just making beats, and he came across it.
Was that what you were watching? That
Yeah,
was J.
yeah.
Cole, and when he was referring to Tim, he was talking about Timbaland.
Yes.
Ah, right, okay. I
God,
did.
which other
I
Tim?
wasn't sure.
Tim Cook?
Tim from Curry.
Tim Apple?
Like Tim Westwood or something.
Tim Westwood.
Well, I didn't know you.
Yeah,
you were
but
watching.
he was watching a live stream, saw he made that beat, liked it, but didn't want to ask him until he had like the song, so just looped it from YouTube, and then was like, I need the original one. Timbaland deleted the old file because he thought it was trash, and so I had to remake the song just for J. Cole to include it on the album, which I thought was quite interesting. My Life, featuring 21 Savage and Moray. That's Amore. Sounds eerily similar. Eerily. Oh,
It's Earl.
Earl. My name is Earl. The instrumental sounds a lot like A Lot, which is a 21 Savage song, which features J. Cole. I played that to you and you agreed. I think it's
Yeah.
just like there's a background sample that might be like slowed or just like a shorter bit of it. That was all right. I didn't dislike 21 Savage on that. To be honest, it seemed okay. Applying Pressure. The only thing I wrote about this is Chris Rock with a bad throat, which is what we discussed. I think it's at the end, isn't it, where he's just like speaking or something. It just sounds like it could be Chris Rock. Punching the Clock. Flow is extremely ill, bish, is what I put.
Damn.
I agree. He's very good.
Yeah.
It's the second half of this album where you realise he's very, very good. He's very talented as a wordsmith and a Flower. I've mentioned it even. It's easy for me to say. Bloody hell, struggling. 100 mil sounds a little bit like Middle Child in some parts. And I thought this song was a little bit like the context of it was context was a little bit shitty. Like my note was, okay, you've got loads of money. That don't impress me much. Because he's basically like just saying like, yeah, I've made 100 mil or whatever, but I'm still on the grind. Yeah, well, I'd have a lot of motivation to be on the grind if I also had over 100 mil. I'd still be like,
he just bloody loves Shania Twain.
He does. Me or Cole.
Both.
Yeah, exactly.
Yanni, so before you move on, was it punching the clock that had that bit you were like, oh, that's nice? Was there something else? Have you made a note about that? Where there's like someone talking and it goes back into Cole?
I can't quite remember. It might be Pride is the Devil, which I'm about to get onto now. Pride is the Devil. This was the one that sounded, well, me and Liam both said at the same time, this sounds like the most old school, not old school, but like 2014 Forest Hills, For Your Eyes Only. J. Cole, Juan Cole.
Yeah.
Jermaine Juan Cole. Instrumental is sick because I've got no other words to use in my life. And the melody of the hook is very tight. Yes. And I think it's because it has a strong hook, which makes it sound like that. The Lil Baby, not little, he's not a posh baby. The Little Baby feature isn't that bad. It flows quite nicely between Cole and the baby. Let Go My Hand. I just put lyrically quite deep, and the instrumental was pretty chill. Just thought it went on for a little bit too long. Could have been cut shorter. Come on, Cole. Narrow it down, mate. Interlude was fine. The climb back, Cole's just going in hard. Can see why he's one of the best, is what I put on that. I must have been very impressed with his flow and what he was spitting. The rest of them are okay. My favourite is Hunger on Hillside, which is the closer of the album. There's a lot of really nice samples. You mentioned, Liam, that the instrumentals don't seem to do as much as what old school ones do.
Yeah.
And it does seem like, when I first heard it, I said to Liam that like it seemed a bit like he wasn't really trying, because it's just a sample of beat and he's just like I say freestyling, but because there's no like structure really to it, he's just spits, and then that's it. It's the end of the song, and then it's the next one. But there are a couple of songs where there are strong hooks in there. I just think it's a little bit over the place. But there are a good couple of songs I'd take away from this. I'd probably give it a 3 out of 5.
Fair.
Fair's fair in Love More.
Fair in Love More.
All's fair. Also. Callum, this is your favourite artist. Tell us about this album.
I listened to the first track. I thought it was interesting, but I just didn't have the willpower to listen to the whole thing.
Yanni, you spoke for me for most of this.
I have.
And I don't disagree with anything you said.
Well, that's good.
Mirrored.
I think you got my thoughts right there. Yeah, I think that with the kind of the samples and stuff, in this album, he tended to just use a sample and just loop it. And that was kind of it for the whole song. Whereas in older songs, you'd find quite interesting samples where it would loop for a bit and then play out the rest of it. If that makes... I don't know. I can't really describe what I'm trying to say.
It just felt like more of an evolution to the...
Yeah, he seemed to just use the samples a lot more intelligently, I guess, than just kind of finding a kind of a hook and using it over and over again. But I agreed. Like some of the best songs on here, Pride of the Devil's really good.
Yeah,
and the last one's really good, like you say. Who's Baz?
I don't know.
I don't know if it's a voice or if it's a producer. Cause I don't.
No, producers aren't listed on here.
But
otherwise, Timbaland would be.
True. But yeah, it's a shame about Pride is the Devil with Lil Baby, and I agree what you're saying. It does fit in. I just don't like that style of rap at all. Really, that kind of mumble.
The
It
triplets.
just sounds like he's struggling to breathe. Not triplets as much. It just sounds like he's actually just struggling to catch his breath between lines, and I just wouldn't. From that, I don't rate him that much. But yeah, I think it's a pretty good album. I think there's a few on these that'll be growers for sure.
Yes, a bit like me, I'm a grower.
I hate that all the songs are stylized in that way, with
What?
the spaces between
Oh
every letter
yeah, it's awful.
and a full stop or a period between each word.
Period.
Really hate that. It's just so unnecessary.
I will say there are some quite good lyrics in this, but I have not made a note of any of them. So you'll have to listen to yourself to find out what they are. So that's been our individual picks. As you can tell, not a lot of thought went into it.
Speak for yourself.
Cal, Yanni, I want to live inside your headphones, baby.
You don't right now.
You are living inside my headphones.
Oh, that's good then.
Well,
I'm happy with that.
the vaccines have come back, and
Praise
I
be.
really wish they hadn't, because this latest song, Headphones Baby, is a crock of shit.
Pink shit.
It is.
I
Cal.
don't think.
It is.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. Let's not beat around the bush. It's not good. But I've listened to it a few times, and it's grown on me a bit. I think it'd be a great song for an advert, not for a
High
band
praise.
who I used to love. But they tweeted not long ago saying their next album is their best ever.
That's a lie.
However,
Okay.
it was before they reissued the first record. So I'm hoping that there was a bit of satire and they know they've gone shit and sold out because it's no longer their pin tweet. But
Interesting.
but yeah,
Interesting.
I don't mind it. I think it's a bit annoying,
It's extremely annoying.
but you know,
I think it's all right.
What do you think, Liam?
I think it's all right for what it is.
Hmm.
And it kind of reminds me of like there's a bit that reminds me of like the Roger Sanchez tune.
Yeah, it's in the chorus. There's echoey.
Something there.
Yeah, no, I get that.
And just kind of like that kind of I was just thinking of like Castles in the Sky, that kind of era of music. What was that, like late 90s, early 90s?
Early noughties, yeah.
It reminds me of that. And so for what it is, it's all right. It is a bit annoying. It could actually play into that a bit more and be a bit less poppy, and I think it'd be better. But as it is, and from the vaccines and within the space that it lives, it's not very good.
As you can tell, I hated it more than the other two, clearly.
All these bands that I used to love that are just continuing to release utter dross these days.
Yeah.
Even though I quite like this, but like, if you actually deep it, it is shit. But I quite like it because it's not as shit as other bands who are doing the same thing. If that makes sense. I think that's why I like it.
I guess so.
If you say so.
Take your word, mate.
The next single, The Howlers, Lost Without You, as it's put on Notion, or in the actual title, Lost Without You. I can't really remember this.
It's Jake Bugg's new band.
Oh yeah, that was it. It sounded a lot like.
Yeah, it's good to see he's going back to his roots.
I quite like the song itself, but I hated the way that some words were pronounced. I thought it was very Tom Grennan.
Okay,
Just-
yeah, Tom Grennan,
okay.
yeah.
People just put it on unnecessary accents. But the tune itself was decent, I
Fine.
suppose.
Fine.
Fine. I think that's the highest praise you're gonna get.
Yeah. Fine.
Howlers. Now a band we've been waiting for to release a new
Yeah.
tune, Melody.
My lady.
Famous last words. A bit disappointed.
See, I thought this as well because London I Love You is so good. But I've gone back and listened to this a few times. And it is good, but it's not anywhere near the standard of the first tune.
I think what's made this one worse for me is because Liam recommended going to listen to Wheel of Fortune last week as well before this came out, and I downloaded it from their Bandcamp, and that is also a great tune. So this one is definitely the weakest tune out of the 3 that they've released. Famous Last Words is. So it's still decent, but it's the weakest one. So I've not really felt the urge to want to listen to it anymore, really.
Yeah, on first listen, I was a bit disappointed, and I just thought it seemed a bit lackluster. And then listened to it again, I appreciate it a bit more. So I think it is a good tune. I think if it was, I don't think it should have been a single. I think if this was on an album and it was not released beforehand and you were listening to the album for the first time, this would be a standout album track.
Yeah, I got that.
But it's not a single, if that makes sense. Or it's not the second song they put out. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, Wheel of Fortune's not actually been released properly.
Yeah.
As a second track, especially after London I Love You, but you bring me down. But yeah, that's my words. But I think it's, the more I listen to it, the more I think it's actually pretty decent.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's just when you've got the other two, I think it was just bad timing of discovering the other tune, Wheel of Fortune, at the same time. The next one, I'm going to be honest with you boys, a lot of these, I'm not going to remember, because I just made a playlist and hit play and then was playing a video game in the background.
It was, yeah, I was here.
It was the band Carpet with the song Burnt and Cold.
I think Carpet's a guy, just one guy. Or an individual, should I say.
It's an individual, Carpet, with the song Burnt and Cold. What did we think, gents?
Well, Liam, I put this on Notion because I think it was Yard Act posted about it, and it said for fans of Andy Schauf.
Yep.
And I know you like Andy Schauf. Was it anything
correct.
like Andy Schauf?
I also saw that post, and so I listened to it straight away. So that was before you left this note, actually, funny enough. And nothing like Andy Schauf. Not enticed. Not that I could tell. Nothing remotely like Andy Schauf. I think this is an alright tune. There's some like annoying noise at the beginning of like something crackling or something that really annoyed me the whole way through the beginning part of this track. Or for most of it, I think. But it was pretty basic guitar and vocals at the beginning. It didn't really pay much attention to the lyrics. And then it picks up a little bit towards the end, which is quite nice. You know, I'd listen to more of this, but this one doesn't really blow my socks off.
Yeah, I quite liked it, but again, didn't really.
Oh, is this the one that I skipped before it got to the end?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah. This is boring. It's all come flooding back to me now.
And I said, Yanni, it picks up in a minute, and he goes, "You should have picked up 300 hours ago."
Yeah, no, I did like. I wrote down that I liked it when it picked up, but I kind of get what you're saying.
It's the first tune, so I wouldn't take it as like this is. You know, there's more to come of this. Hopefully, slightly a bit more interesting. I think I'd be someone to keep an eye on. But
yeah.
And now Black Country New Road back with the same song, just done slightly differently. Track X in brackets the guest, close brackets. This is just an acoustic version of Track X. I say but there is quite a bit different.
Musically, it's completely different.
Yeah.
Really.
Lyrically, there are some changes, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it's just the chorus where in the band version, because this is just the singer and I assume just him playing guitar. I think his name's Isaac Woods. I'm going to call him. His name's definitely Isaac, but in the original, the chorus is, and I guess in some way, and then it just kind of doesn't finish the sentence. And then in this version, he says, I guess in some way, I've always been the guest, or something like that. Very similar to that, anyway. The guest is the name of his solo project, which is interesting, but I can't really work out how it fits together, because this has been released in Black Country New Road. But this is just his version of it. And like I say, musically, it's very different. So then maybe he just wanted to kind of preserve his version of it.
Maybe, I don't know.
I guess.
I thought the vocals on this sounded like shit.
I think his vocals.
I did not enjoy anything about this.
I mean, like his voice, like it doesn't do a lot for me, and I didn't. well, I mean, it wasn't any worse, but I just mean the recording of it sounded really shit.
Mm-hmm.
It sounded like it was you're hearing it through like an old school radio, and it's really like fuzzy and not
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, it was just I won't listen to it again. It wasn't bad. I just won't listen to it again, kind of thing.
I think the band version is really great. Like I really love that song. I think it's brilliant. So yeah, I think it's kind of nice to have. I enjoyed listening to it the first time. I mean, his voice sounds like shit. His voice isn't great anyway, like you've said. The guitar sounds fine, although there's some chord progressions that seemed wrong to me, but not wrong. Sorry, but I wouldn't have done that. But who am I to say? But I'm just reading on the Genius here about the lyrics, about what someone's just said, and it's something to think about is that maybe the song was originally a guest song, and that's why obviously in the band version he just says, "Oh, and I guess in some way," and never finishes it because he's cut out the bit about "I've always been the guest," as opposed to adding that in. That makes sense? Because I automatically assume that he's added that in for his version, but it must have been his in the first place. Who cares? Really, who cares? But nice to hear a different take on it, I guess.
Thanks, Liam. That's really good. Now, a band, I don't know if you've heard of them. They're pretty famous.
The Beatles.
The Beatles, that's it. That's the one.
What happened earlier, Yanni? What did we say?
I said, what are you listening to? And you said, the Beatles.
No, I said famous. And you said something like, who are famous? And I said,
Oh, yeah,
Beatles.
yeah. You did that.
And you went, yeah.
That was it,
I
yeah.
didn't really know, you had no idea what I was talking about.
No idea, no.
And I was quite happy that I managed to fit them both in.
Yes, it worked very well, Liam. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. That's
Thanks,
it.
everyone.
Good night.
on that
No,
note-
the band is famous. The song is the Beatles. That feels weird saying it that way
Yeah.
now. This is the one that we said is just weird, isn't it?
It's weird,
It's
yeah.
straightforward, but it's weird.
It's weird that it's not weird. I
Yeah.
guess. It's not really weird.
If you
in
took
any
his
way.
vocals out, I think it would just be not as bad. But his vocals sound like it should be for black midi or black country.
Yeah, for sure.
Um,
And the
But then-
second, to be fair, like this, the end of the song it gets a bit kind of weird.
there's a little
makes a bit more
section of it that's a little bit strange, but like most of it is just
The synths just sound so like, I don't know, normal, straight. There's
Yeah.
like nothing. Very weird.
it's weirder because it's so straight.
Yeah, I like this song a lot musically, but the voice took me a while to become accustomed to. Which is strange because we listened to Stars, the last one.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember you two talking about how shit the artwork was.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
So I
really
think
shit.
they've significantly stepped up the artwork game this time. I think it's because there's no writing on it. But yeah, I like the song, particularly the change up you guys were on about.
Wow.
I'm just listening to. Sorry, I was
No,
just listening
this is
back
a sorry.
to-
Why? If it's not sorry this
I
week.
love sorry. No, to Stars and like the B side on that, or I don't know if it was a previous single, is Nice While It
I think it was a
Lasted,
previous single.
which
Yeah,
I haven't
previous
heard
single.
before. And as it's bundled together with this, I assume it's going to be part of the same album potentially or whatever. And that is more like just dark, if that makes sense. It just embraces
Okay.
the darkness more.
Okay.
Believes in a thing called love.
Um,
I don't know. Interesting band.
This next one is not who I thought it was when it came on. The band is James. The song is Isabella. I've not listened to James other than Laid and
In
Sit
Cooking.
Down. Yeah. This is not what I expected it to be.
I can
At
mirror
all.
that thought.
Me and Liam were like, "Who is this?" Because like I said, I made a playlist and just hit play and then play the video game. And this came on, and we were like, "What the hell's this?" And then we realised it was James. We were both taken back by this.
Yeah.
I don't really. I think I'm impartial to it. I don't really know.
Yeah, I thought the intro sounded like it was going to be interesting, but that kind of interest kind of faded away quite quickly.
Mm.
But I'm just glad that a band from, not to be disrespectful, but a band from yesteryear is not just coming back doing generic shit that'll just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that people just lap up. And so it's good on that regard. I thought the chorus was decent. I quite liked it.
Yeah, I thought it was quite interesting. Yeah. Yeah, definitely not expected, but you're right, Colin. I agree with you that it's nice to see them not just play on the same tropes
It feels like
or
they've got.
follow the progression of that scene.
It feels like they've got more experimental.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
were very basic, and now they've got very experimental. Well, not very experimental, but
I just noticed this is the 4th single they've released in the last couple of months. We haven't covered any of
Yeah,
those.
we've missed them all.
wow.
We
So,
covered the album announcement and then just haven't covered any singles.
but
Sounds like
something
us.
to listen back.
Now, Carl's favourite band, Black Midi. I'm not going to try and pronounce that. Carl, do you want to have a go?
Chondromalacia patella.
Nice.
Very nice.
Thanks. I googled that yesterday.
I didn't like this at all. I don't enjoy it whatsoever.
I've run out of words to describe this band. I do like them, but there are ones that I'm just like a bit too much.
There's
Like I kind of didn't get Slow, the last record, but John 50, I really like that. But this kind of wasn't
John 50.
great. Well, that's what it's in the lyrics. It's where John 50 comes to town.
Oh, that's
It's
so
Roman numerals, isn't it?
wanky. Calling
Roman
it John
numerals.
L.
Well, have you seen how he looks?
Who's
He looks
John L?
wanky.
I've never seen him.
No, the singer of the.
Yeah, it is.
Geordie
Geordie
Greek, I think his name
yeah.
is.
I mean, that's clever, but also irritating.
Yeah, something you'd do.
It
Maybe.
is.
Is
Yep.
it my turn to talk
It
about
is
the
your
song?
turn to talk. If you could
yeah.
please do so.
Just fucking goes on, doesn't it?
It is a bit too long.
There's nothing that.
There's something to grab onto. on it.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing to grab onto
No.
for the words I was looking for exactly.
If it was like in the background, I'd be like, "Oh, this is weird and interesting," I guess.
I wouldn't say it was
and
interesting
then not
at
think
all.
about it, and then be like, "Oh, this song's still on." I mean, it's not even 5 minutes, but it just feel like it goes on forever.
I'm looking forward to the album though, because I can't remember the name of this tune, but they played it on KXP and it was so good. So even if it's just that and John L.
The whole time I was listening to it, I thought of when you said that how they'd paid more attention to song structure rather than just jamming, and I was
yeah,
like,
that's
that is
not happened
not-
on this one, has it?
no, that is not true.
Not
on
at
it.
all.
This one, at least, though, stays. It doesn't go into like a big like cacophony of sound. It kind of does stay. They've kept it within the realms of songs, but it's just like a long song of
I
the same bar. Over and
without
over.
saying that it's shit, I think this is shit. To be honest,
I don't get it, man. I don't get it.
You
Poms.
seen the video to it?
Yeah,
Sorry.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was the only thing. Like
Yeah.
we were watching that, and we were quite engrossed in the video.
Yeah.
Did we stop it halfway through?
yeah, I stopped it. The video was more interesting than the fucking
And it was
music.
like, no, we're not paying any attention to the song because it's just fucking boring.
yeah.
I kind of get it.
The band that we previously alluded to, Pond, with the song America's Cup.
Yep.
I enjoyed this.
Yes.
I
me
got
too.
down to it. You
with the
hear me out?
trumpets.
Exactly. Anyone else want to talk sport?
Yeah, no, I like it a lot. The bass is funky.
Funk.
I do like it a lot. I kind of was hoping that it was going to be in the same like manic nature of Pink Lunettes. This kind of seems like more
I feel like I can see the relation.
more pondy. I can see the relation, but I do feel like this is kind of just like generic's not the word, but it's the word I'm going to use. Generic pond. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that's not to say I didn't like it. I pre-ordered the album. I always get enticed by these limited amounts, but it's on rough trade, so I can cancel it if I want.
Why? Not?
I know that up there for thinking. But yeah, no, I like it.
I also liked it, and what are you laughing at?
It just sounds like we can't be asked at all.
No, I can be asked. Thank you. I've just realised the only Pond song I know is Moth Wings. I don't think I know anything else by Pond.
They've
um,
changed considerably since then.
Yeah, Sweep Me Off My Feet is a bad boy band.
And I just noticed on Pond Spotopedia, what's it called? Spotify. Pond Spotify.
What?
Sorry,
Spotopedia.
Spotify. They're like top 5 songs. Moth Wings isn't there, which made me just feel feel old. I feel like I'm like in the time that's passed. But anyway, yeah, I liked Pink Lunettes, but I preferred this. So, but
Oh.
overall, I'm looking forward to the album.
Oh.
I quite like this. Is just kind of a good groove, and I like the progression and stuff, and like the chorus, and I thought it was interesting. It also felt kind of old school as well in a way in the chord progression, but then didn't kind of reach it, which felt a bit kind of like not anticlimactic, but like unsatisfactory.
I hope what you're saying makes
Unsatisfying.
sense to you.
Yeah, it does. It's an unsatisfying, but they just keep going with it, which is
Plausible.
applaudable. Applaudable. Any whomst.
So there in the end.
All the words are there and piece them together.
Nay. Horsey and King Cruel have come together to release a song,
No need for that.
Seahorse. Did you know? Tell me a fact about a seahorse, Liam.
A seahorse.
Tell me a fact.
I know a lot about seahorses. I don't even remember this. I did a little book about them in
Oh, fuck
in
off,
year
really?
8 or 9, and it got printed and handed out at
I'm just after a fact, not your life story.
parent evening. The parents incubate the the father, the male parent incubates the babies and also births them.
Have you seen them give birth? It's
Yeah.
like fucking explosion.
It just shoots them out there. And
Those
they,
little
and they
seahorse.
give
Seahorse
birth to
eye.
I think like 300 at a time, something like
Wow.
Yeah.
Do they all live? Sorry to sit
that.
down.
Every single one. No, I don't
Wow,
know.
that's mad.
I don't really know.
There's no overpopulation of seahorse in my local area. What do we all think of this? I thought it was pretty chill.
Yeah, I liked it. I particularly like the kind of like building aggression in King Cruel's vocals.
Yeah, his vocals
Little
did sound very good on this, I thought.
Yeah, I liked it.
I like it. Liam.
I mean, just listen
I
to it now.
do.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Fucking, what a traitor.
Either I was the one that mentioned it is out. I haven't listened to it.
yeah. And then you did say, "Oh, it sounded pretty good, actually."
Because when we started listening to the rest of the songs on your playlist, you didn't play this.
No, because I'd already listened to it.
See, I hadn't, and so the crossover there was this song, and I missed this song.
You feel?
Solely once. But yeah, listen to it now. It's I like the growing aggression and like kind of the guitar towards the end.
Fuck, Callum.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sounds
right.
pretty alright. I don't know who Horsey are. Horsey?
Is. I think it's one guy.
No, it's a band, right, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You sure?
It's five
Ah.
fellas there. King Cruel's there with them. So,
Oh.
unless that's just for this single, that's their first picture on Spotify. Is
But
with
anyway, this isn't fun for people listening.
Jack Marshall. Maybe it's one of their brothers.
You
Yeah, they
mean
look like
King
brothers.
Cruel's brother.
Yeah, because what's his?
Well, I
his
think
Marshall, isn't it?
Marshall.
Jack Marshall did the animation of the video.
There we go. So I'm going to assume that Jack Marshall of Horsey is related in some way to Archie Marshall. I'd also Theo McCabe. I recognise that name. Wouldn't there be another band? But yeah, I digress.
Hey ho. He digresses. Speaking of that band that described me perfectly, Low Hummer finally released that song on Tuesday, June the whatever date we said.
18th.
The people, this place. Now, this was not what I like from Low Hummer. Mainly just that it's the male singer, not the female singer. But this is probably my third favourite song that they've got, that I've heard.
Wow.
Um,
Okay.
So, that's all I'll say on it. I'm a little disappointed that we've now heard the last track on the album.
Yeah, I
Is that
mean,
the last track?
Yeah.
Ooh.
yeah. See,
Oh,
we spoke about this last week, didn't we?
It does
We're not
feel a little
fans
bit-
of when bands do that.
Feels a little bit like a closer. I can see it being the closer, but I'd rather not know.
It's too high energy for
I
it.
kind of think that Never Enough could have been a closer. I don't know. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Yeah, I like the song. It goes more in the style of the older tunes with the lead singer's vocal melody, kind of reminiscent of I Choose Live News and the first single, which name has gone out of my head. Don't You Ever Sleep. But yeah, no, I like it. I like this band. I pre-ordered the record. DM'd me before after I shared it to my story. They said
Right.
thanks for supporting us since day one. And I was like, it basically has been day one. So you're very, very welcome.
Listen, Skint Northerners support Skint Northerners.
Aye, correct. I'm a student, don't you know?
Not anymore, Carl. How are you?
No, no.
Go on.
Last assignment's been submitted. So
It's all
Good
over now.
lad.
Now you're into the
No.
real world.
Yeah, you're not
I
done
know.
now.
Absolute misery.
It's so boring,
I
mate.
know. No more gaffs.
No,
Not that we've
gaffs.
had gaffs for 18 months. But...
Liam,
you like your own
Marina!
gaffs,
have you spoken about this song, Liam?
I don't really have much to say.
Oh, brilliant, Marina!
Yeah. Sorry.
Ancient Dreams in a Modern Land. This is not very good. Yes. That's all I've got to say.
Yeah, I thought it was quite boppy. Melody was questionable. I hated the part in the chorus where one of the lines was "I am not my DNA" or something, and there was just one more syllable to every other line, and it just wound me up. I don't know. Lyrically, it's not great either, is it? I think the message is there, and this is what we said about the last
There's
one.
no
The message
nuance
is there.
to it. That's what it is.
No, none at all. Yeah.
To steal Liam's
Yeah.
words from.
Yeah, nuance.
That's Liam's word, nuance. He's the one that came
I
up with
actually
that word.
created that word. Yeah.
You are Oxford, and it is your dictionary.
That's me, baby. I've just listened to this for the first time.
Second
Paying
time.
attention. Paying attention.
This playlist was a waste of time.
Listen, don't shout at me.
I
Carl.
feel like I wasted my life doing
Don't
this.
shout at me. No, I haven't. I listened to it earlier, but I listened to the part "and I'm not my DNA." Very annoying. I agree. Just get rid of the word "and" sorted. But yeah, this is better than the last one, Spout.
Yes, but that doesn't take much, does it?
No,
Is it Dacus?
Dacus, I think.
Dacus? Lucy
I'll
Dacus?
go with Dacus.
That's Dacus.
Lucy Dacus.
Daku.
With the song VBS, which Liam stands for.
Very big sigh.
Schlong.
Schlong.
Very big song.
I quite enjoyed this.
It was pleasant enough.
It
I
was
thought
very
it was a bit
pleasant.
boring.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, there was-
Bloody hell, I can't please everyone.
I did.
Jesus
No, it was
Christ.
pleasant, but I was just a bit underwhelmed. But there was this kind of like 5 seconds of distortion at the end.
Yes.
They just came out of nowhere, completely shut me up, really scared me. And it just kind of was there for 5 seconds, then just went back to normal. I didn't get that, but
I like the lead guitar part that came in, and plays quite unusual notes.
no.
I thought it was
You
interesting.
sounded really posh then.
It was interesting. It didn't fit with the rest of the song, but it worked really well. It was nice.
Thanks, Liam.
Thank
You
you.
know what? You're a
Sure,
man
nice
of many
voice.
words.
Lovely voice.
So yeah, I bet you didn't think I'd like that one, did you, Carl?
No, but you seem to be very much into like the Phoebe Bridgers style at the moment.
Yeah, strange.
No. Next we've got.
You should
And
try Boy Genius.
Before we go
I
on,
should try Boys.
oh,
Who knows?
But listen, I'm over here,
You're a man.
baby. I'm listening to this song. There's
Smooth.
no 5 seconds of distortion at the end. I don't know what you're talking about.
There is a loud
There
part.
is.
It gets really.
It's
loud.
about 20, 30 seconds before the end, and then it's like literally 5 seconds, and then it just goes back. And
Okay, alright, then I'll let you off then.
follows
Next
up.
up.
Do you know what, Liam? You should listen to songs beforehand instead of now.
I
Yeah,
did
then
listen
you'd
to
know.
it. I just
Clearly
don't
fucking
remember
not.
that time.
Clearly, fucking not. Sharon Van Eaton?
Etten.
Etten?
2 T's.
You just. Is it Eaton and you're just trying to.
No, it's definitely Etten. That's why it's 2 T's.
I'd go with that in as well.
Etten.
Why would you
I
want
would go Sharon
Tyrone.
Van
to-
Etten. And Angle Olsen.
Fuck's sake.
um,
No, Olsen.
Olsen.
Angel Olsen.
Like I used to. I can't remember this, but I don't think I skipped it when it played, which
No.
meant I must have not hated it, which is high praise from me. Yeah, someone else take it away.
Come on, come.
I thought it sounded okay, but it was quite predictable. And I also thought it sounded like a slowed down version of Love is a Wonderful Colour by Icicle Works. I don't know if you know that song from the 80s. You will know it. Maybe you
No.
don't know the name. But I don't know. It just, when I heard it, all I could think of was that. Whether it was like the vocal melody was played on a guitar in this new tune, I don't know. You might not think it sounds like it, so
There's a little bit.
let's
Just
not
listen to
fo-
it. I think you're a little
Yeah.
bit right there.
Oh, thank
Only
you.
A little bit.
thank you, mate. Do you want to
Need bother.
take the floor?
Liam,
Liam, mate, yeah.
you want me to do like a little dance or something? Is that what you're asking?
I do per me, yeah. Come on.
Did you just call me Permy?
No?
What did you call me?
I said-
Pervy.
No, I said Kermie.
Kermie. Oh, Kermie.
Kermie.
No, you want me to talk about this song? Or the next song? I'm confused. Do I talk about this song?
No,
I've
this
nothing to say
song,
about
you've
this
not
song.
talked about it
So I'm
yet.
going to talk about the next one.
Okay.
Fur.
What is going on?
I don't have much to add about the this Chamberlain and Jelson song. Have you talked about it, Yanni?
I've spoken in depth.
Yeah. So the next songs about the band Fur,
Fear.
we have Fear, The Fine Line of a Quiet Life. And that is backed with If Only as the B-side. First song, very simple, not very interesting.
Second song.
Didn't-
Also very simple.
Yeah.
Not very interesting.
Yeah, sorry.
Biff Baff Bosh, you're done.
Not a fan
See,
of
I
his
like.
vocals, really.
Yeah, no, I like Fur a lot. They've released a lot of songs before this, and I presume this is like the first single in build up to their debut album. But it just wasn't very good.
Wasn't interesting. at all.
Vocals sounded poor, and the vocals in If Only. Why did it sound like an LG impression?
Yeah.
It sounded like
it really
proper
did, yeah.
peak Oasis, and I've never
Peak.
ever got that from his voice at all. So I don't know where that's come from. I was really excited for this. Another thing that really wound me up, to promote it, they've put like Instagram pictures of just one word. So like, you know how it like grids,
Yeah.
but there's 7 words, so it's not even.
That is unacceptable.
So it's like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then there's just one on the side. It's not even in the middle.
Oh, I hate
They
it.
could have put like 2 blank photos with the same color, and then had it like the.
Oh my
You know.
days.
Or they should
that
have
was
done
just-
in one.
Well, no, that would have been even worse.
Yeah,
They
that
should have
would've
put.
been-
You know, it's like a blue
Carl,
sky.
I'm
background,
with
innit?
you
So
on what
they
you're
should have-
suggesting there, yeah.
And they could have
Thank
done their quiet life. and that
No.
would have been 6.
No, Liam, you're incredibly wrong.
Should have had 2 blank sky photos. But yes, I think, if I'm not mistaken, that wraps up this segment. What do you think, Yanni?
bloody, a nice little thought here. Are you still going on about this?
No, I just need to
fucking
point
thing?
out that if they hadn't posted that recent photo, it's 9 squares, including that little them pointing at the sky and then a video.
Oh, maybe then.
But they've ruined it
okay,
themselves,
fair
really.
enough.
Thanks for all the listeners at
Thanks
home.
for all the listeners.
Yeah, bloody hell. It was lukewarm on that, I'd say. Wouldn't you?
There were some highlights, but you know, overall, the water's gone a bit tepid.
It has. Now we need something to help guide us
God.
Okay.
Oh.
into the land
Of albums.
of albums. An album spot.
Right.
I don't think this one's going to take long, is it?
Nope. Callum, I believe you've got notes on every single song on this album. Why don't you run us through them
I-
and we'll say yes or no?
Okay. Most of the
Hang on,
notes
what we
consist
talking
of
about? What we
one
talking
word.
about?
Fucking
We
hell.
We're talking about Paul Weller's Fat Pop.
Fat
Fat
Pop.
Cosmic Fringes. You're not going to know this reference, but sounds a bit like the Sonic Kicks album of Paul Weller, but not as good. Yes or no?
Thanks.
No idea.
Yeah.
The next one, True. Very meh, but the female vocalist is Leah Metcalf, I think her name is, from the Mysterines.
Yep.
Was excited when I saw she was on the credits. Yeah, average song. It's not great. It's probably one of the highlights on the album. But yeah, not great. Anyone have anything to?
Carry on, mate. Carry on.
yes.
Carry on.
Okay, Fat Pop, the song. I put Don't think I like that one. Shades of Blue. Melody reminds me of what I've been looking for from High School Musical.
Okay.
You know, it's hard to believe. I can
Yeah.
see. That one.
Yeah, you
Which
spot
reminded
on
me of
there,
that.
mate. Yes.
Glad Times, I liked the string section. Cobweb/Connections, I put I am bored at this point. I'm surprised it took me that long to get bored. Testify, I put the sleep emoji. That Pleasure, more of the same. Failed, ugh. Moving Canvas, decent, sounds better but still boring. This track In Better Times, I put again, less boring but still boring. One of the better ones on the record. All cohesiveness went out my mind at this point. And then Still Glides the Stream, which is the last track, I believe. I put an extended ugh. But again, I like the strings.
Well,
So overall, my thoughts on this. It was boring, but it was exactly what I expected.
Wow.
well, it's funny you
During-
should say
Very
that.
interesting, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I think me and him have got very similar thoughts that are very opposed to what you've just said.
Yeah.
Oh.
I put this on at the end of all the playlists of all the singles, and this exceeded my expectations.
Yeah.
Not in like, oh my god, this is the best thing I've ever heard, but I was really expecting it to all be like
Shit.
Shades of Blue. Is that the worst one?
Yeah.
I think Shades of Blue is the worst one, but is that one we've listened to beforehand? Was that the first one we
Yeah.
listened to?
No, the first one was Cosmic Fringes.
Oh, I can't remember. Shades of Blue, anyway. I know that one was in the order of things. That was like
Yeah, pretty bad.
shit, really shit. But the rest of them, I quite liked.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. It was more interesting than I thought it would be,
Yeah,
for sure.
there was a lot more going on. I thought it was going to be very straightforward for the most part, but there were some like interesting parts played out. The main thing I took away was how much he sounds like Damon Albarn. Isn't that right?
Yeah, see, there's a lot of there's one of the first few tracks sounds very blurrish, and then there's a very gorillas.
Yeah,
But I think the key component there was it just sounded a bit like David
yeah.
Albon.
But yeah, most of the song, me and him discussed this. We've not really listened to the Jam much, and we've not listened to Style Council much either. So we've not got a lot to really go off. But I think I tried to listen to Paul Weller's solo stuff before and was just really bored by it. But this took me by surprise, I must say.
Yeah, I must say as well.
There was decent songs. I think because I expected it to be worse, it made them better. But there was nothing really that awful about it, apart from Shades of Blue, which I really don't like.
Yeah,
still.
I don't think it was bad. I just think it was very meh and very boring.
Yeah, it wasn't great, I don't think, by any standard. Just a bit more interesting than expected, I think. Especially for someone who's been in the game for so long.
Yeah.
Well, he tweeted. Oh, go on.
I was going to say, but yeah, that there was parts where you were mentioning like similarities with like Paul McCartney, Egypt Station.
Yeah.
One of the songs.
Yeah, I got that.
But it sounds like what did you say? Midlife.
I said that I think all like the middle-aged fellas that listen to Paul Weller still and still revere him as the mod father, whatever, will like this album and feel a bit hip from listening to it.
Yeah.
And I'll be like,
I get what you
fat
mean.
pop. Yeah, you know what I mean? I can see him all, the Parkers on and that. Talking about fat
But
pop.
yeah, he tweeted the other day during one of the Tim Burgess listening parties that this might be the last album he makes because all the stuff that goes into an album nowadays is just too much, and like the music industry is not what it once was, and he just feels like he can't be arsed. But he also says he feels like that after every release, and he released an album like 5 months ago. So
the album artwork says Volume 1.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's what I thought. But it's what he tweeted. So
surely he also transcends all that bullshit of the music industry. Surely he just says, "Oh, Paul, can you come and record an album?" He records an album, goes home.
No, he's not in that position. He can just be like, I'm going to record an album. They just say, yeah, here's all the money you need to do it.
Do it, yeah.
He doesn't. He's
Takes
not
as long as he wants.
contractually obligated to make stuff.
Yeah.
Well, that's how I feel.
Oh,
anyway.
yeah. And then he just goes home and someone else mixes it and whatever. And says, "Do you like this, Paul?" "Yeah, I like that." And that's it.
Is that Paul? Yeah, it's alright.
I can't imagine really he's embroiled in all the shit that up and coming bands have to deal with, or musicians. But maybe he is. Who knows? Who knows? I don't. Scores on the doors, boys. Callum, out of 10.
I'm gonna give it a 5.
Okay.
Which I think is probably more generous than my
Brain
review suggested, but
Yep.
5 nonetheless.
Liam, I'm going to score it a 6 out of 10.
I'm also Yanni.
Hello, Yanni.
I'm going to score it a 6 out of 10.
Wow, bob on.
Which means, of course, Liam, that the mode must be
6.
and the median
Must be 6 too.
and the mean.
And the mean is 5.6 occurring.
Oh, bloody hell.
Beautiful.
And on that
Not
pesky
often.
range,
Go on. Sorry, Colin, you
No.
say what you're going to say.
and silence.
No, we've got to we've got to finish this segment first. I do apologise. I spoke out of turn.
Yeah, you please stop.
You should please should.
One is the range. Range boys. I mean, I don't think they're listening anymore. To be honest, if I was a Range fan, I just wouldn't come in. I'd go somewhere else for my
Yeah.
music needs. You know,
I agree.
review.
But what I was going to say is it's not often that I am the one that rates an album the lowest.
It's not often, and if we have the stats, I have the figures right in front of me here. Only 2% of the time. No, I'm making this up. I don't know. If I kept on top of the stats, we probably could have worked out, but we can't. So what's next, Cal?
Well, because I've finished university and I'm no longer going to be quote unquote
So
a lazy prick, I think it's time to get your arm out, Liam. It's needle time. Under the needle, baby.
Oh, it's a lovely day for record stores who have obtained money from us.
Yeah. Actually, Yanni, I'd say it was a dark day.
Oh, Dog Days
EP?
upon us.
Oh. Yeah. So, Under the Needle, I've got 4 installments, I think. I don't think I've got any more. If I do, I'll do it next week. You know, no one's really asked. First, I've got the Yard Act Dark Days EP.
Nice.
Thank you. Seamless. Featured the 4 tracks they've released so far. Massive fan of Fixer Upper. You know, on the pod, we are Yard Act
Boys.
champions. Next, I have the Black Country New Road first record for the first time. I managed to get one of the restocks, so I was happy about that. Next, Slow Dive's Return album from 2017. Is that right, Yanni? Do you know?
You know what, Carl? I'm going to say that you're spot on with that.
Brilliant. I think I am spot on, to be fair. Featuring the likes of like Slow Mo and Sugar for the Pill. Great album. Lovely stuff. And my hot off the press pick for the week, St. Vincent's Daddy's Home.
Yes, it was
Oh, lovely.
2017.
Thank you. On a lovely
Oh,
bronze
spot on
vinyl.
LeBron
But you can't see it on a podcast, so you're going to have to bloody come over to the YouTube channel, aren't you? We'll tell you all about that after Liam's told you
Yeah.
what he's bought.
What I bought as well. Thank you, Callum. Thank you, Callum, for having me. My name's Liam. Hello. I also bought your Dark Days EP. Dark Days. I also got I got Pompoco's debut album Cheetah, which we covered a few months ago now, on lovely clear vinyl.
Oh,
Very clear.
didn't know that was their debut album.
I hope it is, because I've just said it is. So, facts have been said. No, it's not. There we go. It's obviously not a debut album, it's a second album. But hey, yo. I'm going to pretend it is. And I also got the 10-year anniversary edition of Metronomy's English Riviera. Alright.
Yeah.
And
All
the 7-inch AA side. Well, it's not
Oh,
double A side.
Look at you.
Average that.
Sorry's.
It's all right, mate.
Sorry, formerly known as
No,
Fish.
it's really okay.
Cigarette packet and separate
Oh, yes.
7-inch. Yeah.
I need to get them.
I very much wish they'd released the EP, Twix's Twain, on vinyl, just the full EP, but they've only done cigarette packet and separate so far. So, but yeah, pretty happy copped that.
And I didn't buy this, but Liam has to pay his way for
Yeah,
staying at my
it was a gift.
flat. He ordered 2 versions of Metronomy's reissue of English Riviera,
Yes,
and I have obtained one of those copies.
yes,
Oh,
illegally.
lovely.
So when it comes to doing the video, I'll probably just do that one.
You do it, yeah?
Yeah.
Get me in there.
Liam can do Dark Days
No.
because I've got 3. Then he'll have 3, and then
I'll
Yanni
have,
can
little,
have.
I'll have one.
Communism
You'll have
for you.
the little one, and
The
then you
little
can do the little outro.
Oh, this one.
Fantastic.
Oh, fucking hell. And now we've reached the close, and I'm really sorry. I know you didn't want it to end, but all good things must come
Must.
to an
Wow.
end.
They must.
They must.
They must. They must.
You're sweaty. They must.
You've tank all the shares in Bitcoin. Elon Musk. Something like that. I don't know much about Bitcoin. He did something, didn't he? He played a Wario. Elon Musk.
You're really after some. You lust.
Fuck me. Go on, crack on.
Next week's album spotlight is a mixture of 5 different albums by the looks of it. I don't know. We'll pick one. We're not going to decide now because there's far too many albums there that I don't know and don't want to do.
I want to tease. Maybe it could be a classic.
Classic.
Could be.
Oh, it might be a classic.
Potentially a classic.
Potentially a bit of classic.
Classic.
I would be all for a classic week. And subscribe if you would also like a classic. Message Callum. I don't know. Maybe he'll listen. I feel like me and Liam won't listen. Callum will.
Maybe.
I won't listen.
I'm a nice guy, so
Yeah, I mean,
I don't have much going on in my life. So
He's finished uni now. He's literally a free agent.
I start my job tomorrow.
Congratulations, Callum. Tell us what your job.
Thank you, mate.
Tell us what you doing.
Working in. I'm not going to tell. I'll tell you off camera.
Okay.
I don't want people stalking me.
Do you want to give the industry? You want to give the?
You're not that big, mate.
No, I'm only joking, but I'll tell
Hey,
you.
are you that guy from Fools on the Hill?
I am, mate. Yeah. Who wants to know?
Yeah, I'm sure they'll recognise you by face.
Liam, shut your mouth. Shut up, Liam. You can follow us everywhere, but specifically Insta and Facebook at Falls on the Hill Podcast, Twitter at Falls on the Hill, YouTube where there'll be this week's Under the Needle, Falls on the Hill. Don't forget, when you're there, subscribe, ding the bell.
Ding that dong.
If you've already donged that bell, then you'll be donged about the video. Subscribe every single video that we've ever done because it would just mean a lot to Liam. Liam, I hope you don't mind me saying this.
Please.
He's very fragile at the moment. He's realised that plastering walls actually leaves them smoother than the baby's arse.
It's
it's unnatural.
It's very unsettling.
And you don't want to catch a nail on it. Oh, God,
Oh,
no. Oh, no. So a like would go a long way to help Liam's house. There's play this whatever. Liam spends a lot of time on him, but yeah, we already told you about it. I would like to leave you with a question.
Please.
Now there's a couple of options here, so I just want what you think it might be, because it's a little fun fact at the end of the day. I'm just here for a bit of laugh.
Is this a competition, me and Callum versus?
It is a competition, so first to give me the correct answer wins.
Do we need to buzz or it's just short?
No, yeah, do your little blues riff.
What was it? No.
I want to know who turned down the lead role of Shrek because they didn't want to be an ogre.
They're fine until they realise who's no good.
Oh God.
Come on.
I'm just someone who was like really famous at the time. Johnny Depp.
No, but I can. No, Johnny Depp wouldn't give a shit. He does anything.
No, he would totally do it. He does a pirate.
Yeah, no, that is true. To be fair.
It's a very out there actor, like a very like weird, crazy actor.
Oh, this is hard, Yanni.
Jesus,
You've really stumped us
this
here,
is.
mate. We need.
Can we have a nationality, please?
Callum, you buzzed, by the way. You can't buzz again.
You
if I
can't.
buzzed.
Fuck off.
I can-
Well, that's a
They're the
lie.
rules. They're the rules.
I think he's American,
Great, that's really helpful.
so I hope that
Great
helps, guys.
question.
There's only one American actor.
Can you name
so-
one of a film he's been in? Try to use the most, like, least.
Right, this will give it
obvious.
away though.
The
Okay,
least
Are you
obvious.
ready? You ready, Cal? You ready? Ready?
Go on.
Con Air.
Oh, Nicolas Cage.
Well, where was the buzz then?
You'd already
you didn't
buzzed.
buzz.
You'd given up your first buzz.
Nah, mate,
Once
that's
you
not
buzz,
how it
you've got to wait for the next person to buzz.
Well, when Yanni's going, are you ready, Cal? Are you ready? That means to me that I'm still in
Nicolas
the game.
Cage.
That's not your buzzer. That's my buzzer.
Sorry, Callum was the first to buzz.
No, you just talk loads.
Cal, what was your answer?
Nicolas Cage.
Thanks, you smashed that, mate. Honestly, you
damn it.
smashed
Thank
that.
you, mate.
And Liam, that's what you get for being a cheating little bitch. Okay?
Well, thanks for
You
that.
haven't, you haven't changed since the first day I met you in high school.
No,
Why
you met
would
each
they
other
do
in
that?
primary school. What are you on about?
Oh yeah, sorry, I
Did I
forgot
cheat
about
on
that.
the
Throwback.
first day of high school, Callum?
Yeah, cheated your way to my heart.
Oh,
Wow. Thank you, Callum.
oh my god.
You're welcome.
And on that note,
Yeah.
we say goodbye. I do have one question for you, though, Callum.
Oh, that would have been a perfect way to end it.
Go on.
Sod.
Is it Is the home owned by Daddy, or is Daddy home?
The daddy's home.
Okay, Daddy is home.
Daddy is home.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Night.
God
Hugs and
bless
kisses.
and all other religions. Just play that out loud, why don't you, mate? Fuck
Ruined
yeah.
that now. I could have cut that.